This week's video is sponsored by GraphicStock.com. In the spirit of GraphicStock's Creator-to-Creator initiative, this is what I created utilizing the GraphicStock website. If you like what you saw, click the link in the description box below to get a 7-day free trial of GraphicStock.com and gain access to over 350,000 photos, graphic, vectors, and much more. Create something special and share it with the hashtag Creator-to-Creator. If you support my sponsors, I get to stay here in the workshop. Thank you. So this week I used that graphic. I liked it so much I decided to make a sign for the new shop. If you go back and look at that graphic, you know that it was not set up for CNC. I had to make it into compound paths. If you know anything about Illustrator, when you look at that file, it was nothing but overlaying paths, and you can't plasma cut or CNC an image like that unless it's all turned into compound paths. So graphic is not mine personally, but I like it. And I think it looks cool. More work on the power hammer this week. It is all about the bushings and getting the mechanical arms that throw the weight up and down, getting the bushings in place. All the holes are oblong from its life of being used, and the previous owner began a restoration, and that restoration included boring out all of these holes. The pins that carry all the parts together are 7/8, and all these holes are being cut open to about maybe 1/100,000. And then the bushing that takes up that negative space is being cut. And so I'm doing all that. It's for me, it's a practice. I don't do this typically, but I'm learning. And the way to learn is to back yourself into a corner and work your way out of it. By the time I'm done, I'm gonna learn something. Move more stuff. You can see in here we are pretty empty. A lot of walls. A lot of walls you never could see before. Have a couple more weeks and we are done. Got a great new product from Alequin this week, the Ranger 250. This is an amazing generator. This thing can light up a house. It could also light up a few welders. So look forward to some promotional videos utilizing this Ranger 250. Came in pieces. I had to put it all together, which of course wasn't too difficult. As soon as I hooked the battery up, put a little bit of gas in, it started immediately. So I'm looking forward to using this out in the field. Thank you, Alequin. This week's mailbag. Guys, thank you so much. Got some really good stuff. Somebody give me a bar of soap. I need it. Okay, I'm on a secret location with 2 secret people doing secret stuff.
I'm a secret.
It's April Wilkerson and
Hey.
Jared Dosty, top secret.
top secret. We're working on, I'm like 3 seconds in this episode of The Secret Thing, and these guys are actually the of this secret thing.
Can you say?
Sure.
Can you say?
You're Jimmy. You can say anything.
So we're on a secret location doing secret stuff, but it's always good to see April, and it's great to meet you, my bro.
And now for the chickens.
Back in September, in vlog episode number 4, I covered my friend Mike.
Mike is a friend of mine who is a roboticist, and he is an inventor and a programmer and a software engineer and a machinist, all those things wrapped into one. And Mike works in his basement in New York. He will soon be the only guy in New York that has a machine shop in his basement. It was just the 2 of us. Now it's just going to be him. But remember I showed you Mike was working on this lamp?
It's done. What was the one thing where you said, I want a lamp, but that's a robot lamp like this?
So when I make things, there are really 2 different sparks that happen, right? So the sand table is an example.
Yeah.
I realized that you can make furniture that is more interactive.
Right.
So you take something like a standard coffee table and say, okay, what can you do with it? And I was at Dean Kamen's house, and I saw all these machines that he had, and I said, I would like something like that.
Right.
And not what he had, I wanted my own. And so I said, okay, I'm going to take a regular table and I'm going to put some mechanism in it, and it will do something. In the case of the Tentacle lamp, it was a similar type of thing. How do you take a normal thing like a light fixture, and how do you make that interactive?
Right.
How do you make
so
it
the spark was basically taking the mundane and making it
make it interesting, and with having something like Alexa where you could do speech recognition, right? Or you have user interfaces over the internet, or things that you could schedule, or vision. You could make this thing do almost anything, right? And so take a regular light and how can you push it in some way? And sort of, you like to do stuff like that.
It's got so much personality, and I think honestly it's going to have 5 times more personality in the next or the 3rd iteration.
The other inspiration for this, which is kind of fun, is that whenever I get a new machine, I try to figure out what am I going to make with the new machine.
Right.
Oh, neat. I got a Tormac mill, and I said, okay, I finally have something that can CNC thicker, larger things faster. So I could iterate through stuff, and so I decided, let's make a single tentacle and see if that works. And so that tentacle worked surprisingly well.
It did.
And then, it's almost unfortunate because then you actually have to make 6 of them, right?
I always say you go to school on the first 5, and then the last one, the 6th one probably came out perfect.
Well, actually, I went to school on the first one a lot, and then the other 6 came out pretty well. We got to a point where we were actually producing these things pretty quickly.
Atelier Automatique.
Yeah, that's perfect. Doesn't sound like you're from Long Island at all.
Sorry.
You sound French.
What is the long-term goal for this product and the company?
For this particular product, I want to keep experimenting and see whether it's compelling or not. Right. Can you actually make it have real utility? And now just imagine that
Sure, I think so.
Plates down, and it lights it for you.
Sure.
And it can be intimate, etc. Imagine in a restaurant, you actually have a menu.
And it looks for the menu, wherever it is.
And the menu comes out on the table, it lights it up. How many people are out there with their iPhones trying to light it in a fancy restaurant?
Or I could see like in the lobby of one of Ian Schrager's hotels where you sit down and the thing points right at, wherever your feet are, or, points at your hands, for instance.
Yeah, points at your hands, or you're reading a book in bed.
Right.
And it's tracking your book.
Right, even because you're going to roll to your side, it's going to follow.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so whether that's useful or not, or compelling or not, I don't know yet.
I think so. It's one of those things where you didn't know you needed it, but now you need a lamp to follow around the house.
That's right. Now, do you need tentacles?
I would need tentacles.
Yeah, well, some people need tentacles in their bedroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike partnered up with his buddy Asa Hillis, who is a very skilled woodworker, and he built this thing with the umbrellas. Take a look at this.
We like to make one-off, high-end machines.
Sculptural, artistic, art, sculpture, utility, all mixed in one.
Right. So for Dark Sky, we made this beautiful mobile.
Right.
But it is 21 feet wide.
Wow.
And it has umbrellas that go up and down, but they go up and down based upon the predicted weather. So you could walk in, glance at the ceiling, see that it's raining outside. Not that you need a mobile to tell you that it's raining now, but it also will tell you that it's going to rain in 15 minutes or it's going to rain in an hour by how fast it moves. So,
I love that idea of like, the idea that the machine is going to basically frantically try and tell you news through its motions.
I think we have easier ways of doing that than trying to indicate through pantomime what it is.
But that would be great though. Like imagine like, you know, a chair pantomimes to you what's going on, who just sat in it.
Right, so for the first time ever, you could get weather data, news data, stories, anything coming in. Well, how would you like to display that?
Right.
And it turns out that you could display that in a coffee table as an example, where it will wake up and draw whatever the word of the day is.
Right.
Okay, it could also be watching a Twitter feed and drawing Twitter messages.
Right.
Right. Your light fixture could light what's in front of it for a dinner party, and it could remember settings and then replay that. Each one of these is an experiment. Some of these will be interesting and compelling. Some of these things will be, this guy is completely insane and builds unnecessary. So that's the idea. If we can make a company that does this, if you know, these things are not cheap to make, and so if we could leverage our skills to do that for somebody, I think some people would appreciate these.
Even if you just had one tentacle as a side lamp, or just one on each side of a bed, for instance.
Yeah, with special features.
I think we got our closing line. What's your name?
Alequin.
Can anybody find you online?
Yeah, Subway Maps with a Z at the end on Instagram. Well, come to 88 Prince Street in Soho.
One of my favorite things about New York is New York City street artists, the genuine old school guys. A fan suggested that I leave behind a little something so that they could photograph themselves next to it. I took it one step further. It's going to be what Brett named a spray plate. Hopefully it'll stay up for a little while before it gets taken down. If you notice in the beginning of the video, I'm going to put one upstate too. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this week. I'll see you next. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Tomorrow I'm going to hang out with my dad, so you'll see my dad next week.